The big room was quiet. Soft lights glowed on the high ceiling. Around a large round table sat beings from many different worlds. They all looked different. Some had blue skin, others had tentacles, and a few even floated in the air. This was the Galactic Council, the group that made rules for all the known space. At the head of the table sat High Counselor J1. He was tall with gray skin and 4 arms. His eyes, all 6 of them, looked tired. "Let's begin our weekly meeting," he said in a deep voice. The other council members nodded. They started to talk about boring things like trade routes and small fights between planets. It seemed like it would be just another normal day. But then, something changed. A loud alarm started to ring. Red lights flashed all around the room. The council members looked around, confused and scared. A small, robot-like being rolled into the room fast. It was Bin, the council's helper. Its metal body shook as it spoke. "High Counselor, everyone, we have a big problem." J1 stood up. His voice was calm but firm. "What is it, Bin? Tell us quickly." Bin's eyes, which were just lights, blinked fast. "A ship, High Counselor. A very big ship. It just showed up in the no-go zone." The room got very loud. Everyone started talking at once. The no-go zone was a place in space where no ships were allowed. It was close to where the Galactic Council met. No one had ever dared to go there before. "Quiet," J1 shouted. The room fell silent. "Bin, show us this ship." Bin nodded and pressed a button. A big screen appeared in the middle of the table. On it, they saw a huge ship. It was black and shaped like an arrow. It was bigger than any ship they had ever seen before. "By the stars," whispered Sook, a council member with long blue hair. "What is that?" Another member, named Da, leaned forward. His antenna twitched. "It doesn't look like any ship I know. Where did it come from?" J1 turned to Bin. "Do we know anything about this ship?" Bin shook its head. "No, High Counselor. It's not in any of our records. It just appeared out of nowhere." The council members looked worried. They had never seen anything like this before. Their space was supposed to be safe. They thought they knew about all the beings in the galaxy, but this ship proved them wrong. "Are our defense ships ready?" asked J1. Bin looked down. "I'm sorry, High Counselor. Our ships are not ready. We didn't think we would need them here. It would take hours to get them ready." This news made everyone even more scared. They had no way to protect themselves if the strange ship attacked. "Can we talk to them?" asked Min, a small green being. "Maybe they come in peace." J1 nodded slowly. "We should try. Bin, send a message to the ship. Ask them who they are and why they are here." Bin sent the message. Everyone waited, holding their breath, but no answer came. "They're not responding," Bin said after a while. The room grew tense. What if the ship was getting ready to attack? What if it was filled with angry aliens who wanted to hurt them? Just then, the big screen changed. The ship was moving. It was coming closer to the planet where the Galactic Council met. "It's coming this way," shouted Da. His voice was high and scared. J1 tried to stay calm, but even he looked worried. "We need to do something. We can't just sit here." But what could they do? Their weapons weren't ready. They didn't know who was on the ship or what they wanted. For the first time in a long time, the Galactic Council felt helpless. As the ship got closer, everyone in the room could only watch and wait. Their hearts beat fast. Their hands shook. The future of the whole galaxy might depend on what happened next. The day that had started so normally had turned into the most important day in galactic history, and it was only the beginning. The big black ship hung in space like a dark cloud. The Galactic Council watched it on their screen, scared and worried. No one knew what to do. Suddenly, a light flashed on the screen. Bin, the little robot helper, beeped loudly. "High Counselor, the ship is sending us a message." Everyone in the room held their breath. High Counselor J1 nodded slowly. Let's hear it. Bin. A voice filled the room. It was clear and strong. This is Captain Yuna of the Terran Pride. We come in peace from planet Earth. We wish to speak with the leaders of this galaxy. The council members looked at each other, confused. Earth. Terran. These were words they had never heard before. J1 spoke first. I am High Counselor J1 of the Galactic Council. We do not know of Earth or Terrans. Why have you come to our restricted space? There was a pause. Then Captain Yuna's voice came again. We apologize for entering your space without permission. We are explorers from a planet called Earth. We have traveled far to meet other intelligent life in the galaxy. The council room burst into noise. Everyone was talking at once. Some were excited, others were afraid. Quiet, shouted J1. He turned to the other members. What should we do? Suk, the member with blue hair, spoke up. We should ask them to leave. They broke our rules. They could be dangerous. But a young member named Taihyun disagreed. He was new to the council and often had different ideas. Wait, he said. This could be a great chance. We've never met beings from outside our known galaxy before. We should talk to them. The other members argued back and forth. Some agreed with Suk, others with Taihyun. It was hard to decide what to do. While they argued, Captain Yuna spoke again. We understand if our presence makes you uncomfortable. We are willing to move our ship back if you wish to continue this talk. This surprised the council. The ship was big and powerful, but these Terrans seemed polite and respectful. J1 made a decision. Very well, Captain Yuna. Please move your ship to the edge of our space. We will continue our talk from there. Everyone watched as the big ship slowly moved away. It didn't leave completely, but it was no longer so close and scary. Taihyun spoke up again. High Counselor, may I suggest something? Let's invite Captain Yuna to speak with us through a video call. We can see what these Terrans look like. J1 thought for a moment, then nodded. Bin set up a video call with the Terran ship. Soon, a new image appeared on the big screen. It showed a person they had never seen before. Captain Yuna had light brown skin, dark hair tied back, and 2 eyes. She looked a bit like some of the beings in the galaxy, but also very different. Greetings, Galactic Council, said Captain Yuna with a smile. Thank you for speaking with us. The council members stared in wonder. Taihyun stepped forward. Welcome, Captain Yuna. We are curious about your people. Can you tell us more about Earth? Captain Yuna nodded. Earth is a planet far from here. We humans have lived there for a long time. We've dreamed of meeting other intelligent life. That's why we built this ship and came exploring. Humans? Asked Suk. Is that what you call yourselves? Yes, said Captain Yuna. We are a young species compared to your Grand Council, but we have grown and learned much. We hope to join the galactic community and share knowledge with you all. The council members whispered among themselves. This was big news. A whole new species wanted to join them. But some were still worried. Day, the member with antennas, spoke up. Your ship is very big and powerful. How do we know you come in peace? Captain Yuna's face became serious. We understand your concern. Our ship is built for deep space travel and to protect us on our journey. We have no wish to harm anyone. We seek friendship, not war. As they talked more, the council began to relax a little. These humans seemed intelligent and kind, but they were still strangers, and the council had to be careful. J1 finally spoke. Captain Yuna, we need time to discuss this among ourselves. Can you wait while we talk? Of course, said Captain Yuna. We will wait for your decision. Thank you for your time. The screen went dark. The Galactic Council looked at each other. They had a big choice to make. Should they welcome these humans or send them away? The future of the galaxy might depend on what they decided next. The big room was quiet again. The Galactic Council members looked at each other. They had just talked to Captain Yuna from Earth. Now they had to decide what to do. High Counselor J1 spoke first. We need to be careful. These humans might be friendly, but their ship is very powerful. Suk, the member with blue hair, nodded. I agree. We should tell them to leave our space right away. But Taehyun, the young member, didn't agree. Wait, he said. This is a big chance for us. We could learn so much from the humans. The council argued for a long time. Some were scared of the humans. Others were excited to meet them. It was hard to agree on what to do. Finally, J1 made a choice. We will talk to Captain Yuna again. But we must be ready for anything. Bin, the robot helper, turned on the big screen. Captain Yuna's face appeared again. She looked calm and friendly. Thank you for waiting, Captain, said J1. His voice was firm. We have decided that you must leave our space immediately. Captain Yuna's smile faded. She looked sad. I understand your fear, she said, but we have come so far. We only want to make friends and share knowledge. Taehyun stepped forward. High Counselor, maybe we could let them stay for a short time. We could learn about each other. J1 shook his head. It's too risky. Captain Yuna, please take your ship and go. But Captain Yuna didn't give up. Please, let us explain more about Earth and humans. We believe we could help each other. The council room got tense. Suk stood up, looking angry. You entered our space without permission. Now you won't leave when we ask. This shows you can't be trusted. Captain Yuna tried to stay calm. We're sorry for entering your space. We didn't know it was forbidden. We're new to this part of the galaxy. Day, the member with antennas, spoke next. How do we know you're telling the truth? You could be tricking us. The human captain looked upset. We are not trying to trick you. Humans value honesty. We want to build trust between us. As they argued, Bin suddenly made a loud noise. High Counselor, our sensors show the human ship is powering up its engines. Everyone in the room panicked. Was the human ship getting ready to attack? J1 turned to the screen. His voice was angry now. What are you doing, Captain Yuna? Are you preparing to attack us? Captain Yuna looked surprised. No, not at all. We're just running routine checks on our systems. We've been in space for a long time. But the council didn't believe her. Suk shouted, See. They are dangerous. We must defend ourselves. Taehyun tried to calm everyone down. Let's not jump to conclusions. Maybe it's just a misunderstanding. The room was chaos. Some council members wanted to fight. Others wanted to run away. No one knew what to do. Captain Yuna spoke again. She sounded worried. Please, let's not let fear control us. We can explain everything. Just give us a chance. J1 was torn. He didn't want to start a fight, but he also had to protect the galaxy. He made a hard choice. Captain Yuna, we will give you one more chance, he said. Turn off your engines now. If you don't, we will see it as an act of war. The room went quiet. Everyone held their breath. Would the humans listen? Or would this be the start of a terrible war? Captain Yuna nodded slowly. I understand. We're powering down now. You can check your sensors to confirm. Vin beeped and said, It's true, High Counselor. Their engines are shutting down. Everyone let out a big sigh of relief. But things were still tense. The humans weren't leaving, and the council was still scared. J1 looked tired. Very well, Captain Yuna. We will continue to talk, but know that we are watching you closely. Captain Yuna nodded. Thank you for your patience. We hope to show you that humans can be good friends to the galaxy. As the talk went on, both sides were careful. The humans wanted to make friends, but the council was still unsure. It was a delicate balance. The future of both humans and the Galactic Council hung in the balance. One wrong move could change everything. The standoff continued, with everyone wondering what would happen next. The talk between the Galactic Council and Captain Yuna went on for hours. Both sides were trying to understand each other, but one council member was not happy with just talking. Some men, a tall being with red scales, had been quiet until now. He stood up suddenly, his eyes narrow. "This is taking too long," he said in a low voice. "We need to know more about this human ship." High Counselor J1 looked at Sungmin with surprise. "What do you mean? Captain Yuma has answered our questions." Sungmin shook his head. "Words are not enough. We need to see for ourselves." He turned to Bin, the robot helper. "Can we scan their ship without them knowing?" The room went quiet. What Sungmin was suggesting was not right. It was against the rules of the council. Taehyun, the young member, spoke up. "We can't do that. It's not fair to the humans. They're our guests now." But Sungmin didn't listen. He walked over to Bin and whispered something. Bin looked unsure but started to press some buttons. J1 stood up, angry. "Sungmin, stop this at once. We do not spy on others." But it was too late. On the big screen, a new image appeared. It showed the inside of the human ship. Everyone gasped. What they saw was amazing. The human ship was full of things they had never seen before. Strange machines blinked with lights. Energy flowed through tubes in ways they didn't understand. Some men pointed at the screen. "Look, their technology is far beyond ours. We must learn their secrets." The council members couldn't believe their eyes. The human ship seemed magical to them. They saw rooms full of plants growing without soil. They saw people floating in bubbles of light. They even saw a room where it looked like humans could change their shape. Taehyun was the first to speak. This is incredible. How can they do all this?" Even Suk, who had been against the humans, looked impressed. "Their ship is like nothing we've ever seen. It's beautiful." As they watched, they saw more amazing things. The humans had machines that could make anything they wanted. They had screens that could show other worlds. They even had a room that looked like it could control time itself. Sungmin smiled, looking proud of himself. "You see, we were right to be careful. These humans are more powerful than we thought." But J1 was not happy. He turned off the screen and looked at everyone with angry eyes. "What we did was wrong. We broke our own rules. How can we ask the humans to trust us now?" The room went quiet again. They all knew J1 was right. They had done a bad thing. Just then, Captain Yuna's voice came through their speakers. She sounded calm, but a little sad. "Galactic Council, we know you just scanned our ship." Everyone jumped. How did the humans know? Captain Yuna continued, "We understand your curiosity. But we are disappointed that you didn't just ask us. We would have shown you our ship if you wanted to see it." J1 felt ashamed. He spoke to Captain Yuna. "We are very sorry. Some of us were afraid and did a foolish thing. Can you forgive us?" There was a long pause. Then Captain Yuna's voice came back. "We forgive you. We know trust takes time to build. But please, in the future, just ask us if you want to know something." The council members looked at each other. They felt bad about what they had done. But they were also excited about what they had seen. Taehyun spoke up. "Captain Yuna, would you be willing to show us more of your amazing technology? We have so many questions." Captain Yuna's voice sounded happier now. "Of course, we'd be happy to share our knowledge with you. That's why we came here after all." As the humans started to explain their technology, the council listened with wonder. They were starting to see that these newcomers might not be a threat after all. Instead, they might be the most exciting thing to happen to the galaxy in a very long time. The future suddenly looked brighter and full of new possibilities. But there was still much to learn about each other. The greatest adventure was just beginning. The Galactic Council was still talking about the amazing things they saw on the human ship. Some were excited, but others were scared. They didn't know if they could trust the humans. Captain Yuna could see they were worried. She thought for a moment, then had an idea. "Galactic Council," she said, her voice calm and clear. I think I know how to help you understand us better. Would you like to see what our ship can do? The council members looked at each other. They were curious but also nervous. High Counselor J1 spoke first. What do you mean, Captain? What are you planning to show us? Captain Yuna smiled. A demonstration. We'll show you some of our technology in action. This way, you can see we mean no harm. Sungmin, the red-scaled council member, didn't like this idea. It could be a trick. He said, they might attack us. But Taehyun, the young member, was excited. I think we should watch, he said. We can learn so much. After some argument, J1 made a decision. Very well, Captain Yuna. We will watch your demonstration. But be warned, our defense ships are ready if you try anything dangerous. Captain Yuna nodded. I understand. Let's begin. Everyone watched the big screen closely. They saw the human ship start to move. It flew fast and smooth, making shapes in the sky. It was like a beautiful dance. Amazing, said Suk, her blue hair shining. Their ship moves so well. Next, Captain Yuna showed them the ship's shields. A huge rock was floating nearby. The human ship fired at the rock, but a bright blue light appeared around the ship. The shot bounced off, not hurting the ship at all. Incredible, whispered Da, his antennas twitching. Their shields are so strong. But Sungmin was still not happy. This proves they are too powerful, he shouted. We must stop them now. Before anyone could stop him, Sungmin pressed a big red button. Suddenly, all the Galactic Council's weapons started firing at the human ship. Everyone gasped. J1 tried to stop the attack, but it was too late. Huge beams of light and powerful missiles flew towards the Terran Pride. Captain Yuna looked surprised on the screen, but she stayed calm. Don't worry, she said. Watch this. As the Council's weapons got close to the human ship, something amazing happened. The missiles stopped in midair. The beams of light bent around the ship, not touching it. Then, all the weapons just disappeared. The council room was completely silent. No one could believe what they just saw. How did you do that? Asked J1, his voice shaking. Captain Yuna explained. We have very advanced defense systems. We can stop any attack without hurting anyone. We don't want to fight. We want peace. Sungmin fell back into his chair, looking shocked. It's impossible, he mumbled. No one can stop all our weapons like that. Taehyun stepped forward, his eyes wide with wonder. Captain Yuna, your technology is incredible. Can you teach us how to use it for peaceful things? Captain Yuna smiled warmly. Of course. That's why we're here. We want to share our knowledge and learn from you too. The council members started talking all at once. Some were still scared, but many were now excited. They realized the humans were not a threat. Instead, they could be amazing friends. J1 raised his hands for quiet. When everyone settled down, he spoke to Captain Yuna. We are sorry for attacking you. You have shown great patience and kindness. Perhaps it is time we talked more seriously about welcoming you to our galactic community. Captain Yuna nodded, looking happy. We would be honored. Let's work together to build a better future for all our peoples. As the council began to discuss how to welcome the humans, everyone felt a change in the air. The fear was going away. In its place was hope and excitement. The galaxy would never be the same again. But now, it seemed like the changes would be good ones. The humans had come in peace, and they were ready to share their amazing gifts with everyone. The greatest adventure in galactic history was just beginning. The big room of the Galactic Council was buzzing with excitement. The council members had just seen the amazing things the human ship could do. Now, they were ready to talk more seriously with the humans. High Counselor J1 stood up. He looked at the screen where Captain Yuna's face was showing. Captain, he said, we would like to start official talks with your people. Can you bring someone who speaks for all humans? Captain Yuna smiled and nodded. Of course. Our ambassador is ready to talk with you. Her name is Jisoo. She knows a lot about our history and our goals." The screen changed, and a new face appeared. Ambassador Jisoo had kind eyes and a warm smile. She bowed her head to the council. "Greetings, honored members of the Galactic Council. I am happy to speak with you on behalf of Earth and all humans." J1 bowed back. "Welcome, Ambassador Jisoo. We have many questions for you." Jisoo nodded. "I understand. We have many questions too. Let's learn from each other." The council members took turns asking questions. They wanted to know about Earth, about human history, and about human technology. Sook, with her blue hair, asked first, "How long have humans been traveling in space?" Jisoo answered, "We've been exploring space for about 300 years. At first, we could only go to nearby planets, but we kept learning and building better ships. The Terran Pride is our newest and best ship." Next, Da with his twitching antennas asked, "How many humans are there? How big is Earth?" Jisoo smiled. "There are about 10 billion humans now. Many live on Earth, but we also have colonies on other planets. Earth is a medium-sized planet with lots of water and different climates." Taehyun, the young council member, was very curious. "Can you tell us more about your amazing technology? How does it work?" Jisoo looked thoughtful. "Our technology is based on understanding the basic rules of the universe. We've learned how to control energy, matter, and even space-time itself. But we didn't learn this overnight. It took many years of hard work and cooperation." As Jisoo talked, the council members listened with wonder. They learned that humans had solved many problems that still troubled other planets. Humans had clean energy, could grow food anywhere, and could heal most sicknesses. But Jisoo also said that humans weren't perfect. "We've made mistakes in our past," she said. "We've had wars and hurt our planet. But we learned from these mistakes. Now we try to use our knowledge to help others and take care of all life." Some men, who had been quiet for a while, finally spoke up. "Why should we trust you? How do we know you won't use your power to control us?" Jisoo didn't get angry at the question. She answered calmly, "That's a fair question. We don't want to control anyone. We believe that all beings should be free. We want to join your community as equals, to share what we know and learn from you too." The council members talked among themselves. They were starting to see that humans could be good friends to have. J1 turned back to Jisoo. "Ambassador, we are impressed by what we've heard. But joining our galactic community is a big step. There's still much to discuss." Jisoo nodded. "We understand. We're ready to take all the time needed to build trust between us. We can start with small steps, like sharing some of our medical knowledge or helping with clean energy." The council liked this idea. They started to talk about which planets needed help the most and how humans could assist. As they talked, everyone felt hopeful. The humans seemed kind and willing to help. The council was excited about the new things they could learn. Taehyun spoke up again. "I think this is the start of something wonderful. Imagine what we can all achieve together." Many council members nodded in agreement. Even Sun Min was starting to look less worried. Jisoo smiled brightly. "We feel the same way. Together, we can solve big problems and explore the universe. There's so much we can learn from each other." As the talks went on, it became clear that this meeting was just the beginning. There would be many more talks, many questions to answer, and many details to work out. But one thing was certain: the galaxy would never be the same again. The arrival of humans had opened up a whole new world of possibilities. Everyone in the council room could feel it. A new age was starting, full of hope and excitement for the future. Days passed as the Galactic Council talked with the humans. They learned more about Earth and its people. They saw pictures of blue oceans, green forests, and big cities. They heard stories of human history, both good and bad. Finally, after much talking and thinking, it was time for the council to vote. They had to decide if humans could join their galactic community. High Counselor J1 stood up. He looked at all the council members. "We have learned much about the humans," he said. "Now we must choose. Should we welcome them into our community?" The room was quiet. Everyone knew this was a big decision. It would change everything. Sook spoke first. "I vote yes," she said, her blue hair shining. "The humans have much to teach us. We can all grow together." Day nodded, his antennas moving excitedly. "I agree. Their technology could help so many of our worlds." But some men still looked worried. "They are very powerful," he said. "What if they try to take over?" Tai-Hyun stood up. He was the youngest member, but his words were wise. "The humans have shown us only kindness," he said. "They could have used their power to hurt us, but they didn't. I think we can trust them." One by one, the council members voted. Some were still a little scared, but most were excited about the future with humans. When all the votes were counted, J1 smiled. "It is decided," he said. "We will welcome the humans into our galactic community." Everyone cheered. Even some men managed a small smile. J1 turned to the big screen where Ambassador Jisoo was waiting. "Ambassador," he said, "we are happy to tell you that humans are now part of our galactic family." Jisoo's face lit up with joy. "Thank you, High Counselor. Thank you, everyone. We promise to be good friends and helpers to all in the galaxy." The next few weeks were busy and exciting. Ships from Earth started arriving, bringing human scientists, doctors, and teachers. They began sharing their knowledge with different planets. On one world, humans helped build new hospitals with amazing healing machines. On another, they showed how to make clean energy from the planet's 3 suns. Tai-Hyun worked closely with the humans. He loved learning about Earth and its history. One day, he was talking with Captain Yuna. They were looking out a window at the stars. "It's hard to believe how much has changed," Ta-Hyun said. "Just a short time ago, we didn't even know humans existed." Captain Yuna smiled. "And we didn't know about your wonderful galactic community. There's still so much for us all to learn." Tai-Hyun nodded. "I'm excited to see what we'll discover together. Do you think we'll find other new civilizations out there?" "I'm sure we will," said Yuna. "The universe is vast. There must be many more friends waiting to be found." As they talked, a group of young aliens walked by. They were students in a new school where humans and other species taught together. The students were laughing and talking, not caring that they all looked different from each other. Tai-Hyun smiled as he watched them. "That's the best part of all this," he said. "We're not just sharing technology. We're sharing cultures, ideas, and friendship." Captain Yuna agreed. "That's what exploration is all about. Not just finding new places, but finding new ways to understand each other." Far away, on many planets, things were changing. People looked up at the sky and knew they were not alone. They had new friends among the stars. It made the universe feel bigger, but also cozier, knowing there were kind humans out there. There were still challenges to face. Not everyone trusted the humans right away. There were misunderstandings sometimes, but step by step, day by day, the galactic community grew stronger. The day the big human ship appeared had seemed scary at first, but it turned out to be the beginning of a wonderful new chapter for everyone. As the stars twinkled in the sky, countless beings on countless worlds dreamed of the adventures to come. The future was bright, full of hope and new possibilities. And it all started with one brave human ship, reaching out in friendship to a vast and wondrous galaxy.